If you were a regular, participant in this channel, you know that I'm not a big driver. I don't go very many miles anywhere during the course of the month. But yesterday I did take out the Tesla all the way to San Diego and back from Riverside. It's about 90 miles each way, 180 miles total. During the course of that drive, I never touched the steering wheel or the pedal a single time. That's true. Now, on the way home, it did miss an exit. Didn't really matter. The very next exit probably took us maybe a mile out of our way total because it was kind of a triangle thing that it could pick up the freeway again. And at the end of both rides, it didn't know what to do about the driveways. Other than that, I had a chauffeur yesterday. It was a very, very nice drive. And now I get to see finally, really how amazingly the current levels now. I don't even have anywhere close to the current level because I'm on hardware 3. So I'm not on hardware 4. I don't have the very latest release. The release I have, yeah, based on that drive, I would say fantastic. The markets this morning are all generally up. I mean, everything, bonds are up, gold is up. Bitcoin is up, equities are up, Tesla is up nicely, like $5, $6. So it's starting out this morning, this little short day, shortened trading day. Everybody's very positive, leaving the month of November and going into the last month of the year. I think this is a continuation of the Trump optimism. You may differ if your politics differ, but I think, and believe me, a tremendous number of pundits and people that are market watchers are continuing to say the same thing, that they believe there's a lot of optimism about the next government. Okay, we have from AJ this morning. He says Tesla owners globally got this message. We wouldn't have gotten this because some of you got this message this morning. It was an example from in Europe, right on the launch screen of the Tesla app. It said, earn €750 by giving anyone up to €500 on a new Tesla. So you can get €500 off of a new Tesla. So there on your app, you're being encouraged to take advantage of the opportunity. Listen, Elon is going to get his number. He is mobilizing the entire global Tesla fleet, as AJ says, the entire owner community for an unprecedented sales push. He says, I saw this morning fourth quarter estimates as of 26 November update from the leading global automotive research firm for 472,000. That is not going to be the number. Given how hard Tesla is pushing globally, I think volume estimates will see upward revisions in the next few weeks. Many analysts use that data, and overall, I expect analysts to upgrade their volume estimates during the final December weeks. Bottom line, as a result, January 2 delivery deployments have a significant upside risk. However, the EPS is a different story. Many of these measures are costing money and are going to have some impact on margins. But remember, most of these things are being done in the end of November. Lots of, we've already had over a month and a half of sales that were not impacted by these. But yeah, I agree with them. It's going to impact margins. But my point has been for quite a while now. I don't think there's a chance in the world Elon is going to sell under 515,000 cars if he has to sell them one at a time. Gary Black says, we continue to believe Tesla will move higher through year end, means the stock, as investors get more bullish about a likely Trump directive to streamline the approval for deployment of autonomous vehicles, which that does favor Tesla's go anywhere approach. Adding to this bullishness will be a launch of a cheaper Tesla version. What do you call it? The hatchback, the 2.5, what do you want to call it? He says, we believe the cheaper 2025 Tesla vehicle could take the form of a cyber cab with 4 seats. That is not what it's going to be. Before year end, we expect DE Chancellery Judge McCormick to again reject Elon Musk's 28 comp plan as unacceptable despite 2018 and 24 shareholder votes. And so that will probably have a negative impact on stocks. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he says that. Tesla talks about what today say. All right, so that's Gary Black. Thinks we will continue to have a nice upward momentum throughout the rest of this year. I would tend to disagree with Gary. I think we're going to trade in a range between now and the end of the year. So 230 seems to be I'm not picking an exact number here, around 330. Around 330 seems to be the bottom of the range. Around 360 something appears at the top of the range. I think we're going to go back and forth in that range all the month of December. We'll get the January 2nd unit numbers. If we're over 515,000, that'll be a positive thing. If the energy numbers are really, really strong, which I expect them to be strong as well, that'll be a positive indicator. Then we'll go through, we'll have the earnings report. And if everything is moving well, and if we're moving towards robotaxi as we go through the month of January, I think there's a chance that after the earnings call, maybe a week after, maybe 2 weeks after, we will be back to all-time highs. That's when the next big push will go. This is from 𝐒𝐭𝐮𝐫𝐝𝐚𝐲. Oh, by the way, this is Randy Kirk. Please hit like. That's, actually do it just for fun, just this one time, maybe if you don't do it every day. Anyway, and then hit subscribe, notify. Later today, it will be Cern Basher, normally on Thursday, will be on Friday. Maybe there'll be a two-parter. We'll see him on Saturday too. We'll see. And then Larry Goldberg later tonight will bring us to the end of December reporting on the stock market. And of course, we will have our regular programming all weekend. Cybertruck Bottle Openers got another sale. Come on, let's go, guys. You want to do this now before, we're 2 days away from December 1. Time to get those purchases in. You could just start check marking off, folks. You could check off like maybe 5 people or 10 people. Boom, just like that. You've got them solved. 𝐒𝐭𝐵ACE letter says this morning. He says, you can't make this up. U.S. personal savings have just been revised down by a massive $140 billion for 2024. The savings rate for September was revised to 4.1 from the initial 4.6 that was initially recorded for October. And the rate for August was adjusted down to 4.4 from 4.8, reported just last month. Overall, the savings rate for October came in at 4.4, the lowest since the beginning of 2023. What he doesn't point out here, I don't know, I remember how I have this love-hate thing with 𝐒𝐭𝐵ACE. He's got such great information, and then he misses the important part. Do you remember that about 5-6 weeks ago, the savings rate was adjusted up from like 2.6 to 4 point something. And we were all like, how can you adjust it that much? That is the craziest thing. This should be something that's pretty easy to get a hold of. And now it's being adjusted back down again. What is wrong with the numbers out there? What's the federal government doing? Man, I'm sure hoping that one of the things that the DOGE does is find a way to give us amazing numbers and get them now, not 2 months ago or a month ago looking in the rearview mirrors, but give us the information weekly or at least if it's monthly, it's the month that just finished. Let's get these numbers solved. It's crazy. How can you make decisions about companies or stocks or anything else when the macro for the full economy is so poorly handled? Anyway, okay. Sorry, a little rant. Hosun _Chung says, Marc Andreessen just shocked the world on JRE. Boy, he did. I want to tell you something. I listened to that entire video yesterday, and, Marc Andreessen is not some far weird, odd conspiracy theorist or something. Marc Andreessen, who's a multi-billionaire, successful investors, he's an angel, invests in startups and tech companies and whatnot. I mean, this guy is very, very smart. If you listen to the whole video, you'll see this is a Joe Rogan show. And Joe Rogan is sitting there the whole time going, oh, what are you even talking? I mean, Joe is like shocked by the things that he's hearing from Andreessen. Now, Andreessen, in addition to that, he's not some, dyed-in-the-wool Republican. He voted for Obama, for Clinton, and for Biden. But this time he voted for Trump. And he says, if the fact that Trump won, we dodged a bullet. And he said, listen to what, just a few of the things he's talking about, some of which I had no idea about. These were really brand new to me too. He says he revealed that the government is kicking people off of banking networks. Do you remember the truckers up in Canada? These were independent truckers that were blocking the roads, blah, 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 having a protest. And some of them were debanked. The federal government of Canada told their bankers to cut them off, to eliminate their bank account. So you can't run a bit very hard to run any kind of business without a bank account. You can do it. It's possible to deal all in cash, but it's really, really hard. It would take dramatically more time and energy to run a company with cash instead of or with credit cards or something instead of a bank account. Well, it turns out that according to Andreessen, 30 startups are tech companies that were in startup phases of some kind were debanked last year. I mean, these are friends of his, people he knows. He's not talking about something that's secondhand or third hand. These are people that he works with or people that he's actually funding were unable to get banking. There was a report this morning of a guy in England, unable to get a bank in England to fund him. Now, in my history, and I've owned, as you know, a bunch of companies, I've never had any trouble getting banking. So number two, he said that the federal government is using NGOs to do their dirty work. So, NGOs are non-governmental organizations. Well, the federal government can't censor you. They can't defund you. They can't do all kinds of things. They can't, there's, things that they will not say about you because, it would look discriminatory. So no, they use the NGOs to do their dirty work for them. If you want to learn more, listen to the Joe Rogan thing. And then he says they're secretly trying to control AI, but he goes further than that and says that the government is regulating in such a way that you end up with 3 or 4 big players in each category, and new folks, don't bother to apply. You're not going to get anywhere. Anyway, 𝐒𝐚𝐭𝐮𝐫𝐝𝐚𝐲 went on to say, the real threat, he says, AI won't just control. So if you have control of Google, you have control of Microsoft, if you are, the government and you are beholden as Google to a cabinet officer in the government, or you're beholden to the regulators in the government, then all of a sudden, what are you talking about in an age of AI? They will control what you see online, but it will be bigger than that because AI will control more than what the internet controlled. The AI will be controlling who gets loans. We just talked about that. What your kids learn in school, because that is how everybody is going to be looking for information. It's going to be the most trusted information source in the future. It's going to be controlling if your front door opens or if your car drives down the road, and then what you're allowed to buy. It sounds a little freaky. And like I said, normally I pay almost zero attention. I mean, seriously, if I saw this in some other format where it wasn't Joe Rogan talking to Mark Andreessen, I would say, nah, okay. But I'm very interested to see if Elon has any kind of response to this program, if he talks about it, if he mentions it. That's pretty freaky stuff. Okay, let's see what's happening to them. Of course, there was no reporting this morning from any agencies on this short day, this shortened week. But let's go ahead and see what the markets are doing. And boy, looky here. Well, let's start with Tesla, $8.19 up. Look at that. All right, we're at 341, nicely in the middle of my trading range of, say, roughly 330 to 360. We've got the Dow Jones up 159, the NASDAQ up 124, and the S&P up 27. We've got the Magnificent Seven all up, except for Microsoft and Google, which are both down. NVIDIA up $3.68. They're having a very good day. All right. We've got Cathie Woods up, except for PayPal and Square. That's interesting. The two that are in of course, Square's only down 2 cents. So I guess that's not, it's not a very big deal. So anyway, but the Cathie Woods are generally up. The Dow is percentage-wise, darn it, the Dow is up 0.35%, NASDAQ up 0.66, S&P up 0.46, and Tesla up 2.44. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the bonds. We have got the 10-year down 3.3. That's good, to 4.209. I think it was down even a little more, but we're down, getting close to a 4.1 handle. That would be nice. We've got the 2-year is down 2.7 basis points, similar, 4.186. And the 1 month, which I don't have the 2 month or the 3 month showing anymore, can't tell you why. The 1 month is down 0.4%. So roughly speaking, the bonds are all the bond buyers are pushing bond values up, and therefore the yields down. Okay, and that's good. That's what we want to see. If we want the economy to go well, that's what we want to see. All right, let's go on to oil. Oil is up 91 cents actually. So we've had some skirmishes. You know, we have the ceasefire with Hezbollah, but we have some skirmishes. That's what's being blamed on here in terms of the oil price. But we're still under $70 at 69.64 on Texas Intermediate, and Brent is not up as much. So it is only, well, just under $4 difference. So yeah, so 73.43. Natural gas up 4.24%, bouncing back all the way up to $3.34. We've got gold up 13 at 2,677.80. We've got silver up 1.89%. So silver's getting another run, $31.14. Copper up 0.05%. So pretty close to unchanged. And the dollar is down a little against the yen, but basically unchanged against the euro. Bitcoin, here we go. So Bitcoin's up today, 3,555 at 98,410, working hard to get back to all-time highs. I think it was about 99.7 was the all-time high. And of course, everybody's wondering when it will break through 100,000 or whether this will be another bounce, you know, whether it bounces off of that. So that'll be interesting to watch and see what happens. Okay, so as mentioned, you want to come back later on today and see Sir Basher, and he's teasing me. So I'm going to tease you that he's teasing me. We've got Larry Goldberg later today. All kinds of amazing content over the weekend. I can promise you that. And then, but I don't know what it is yet. And yeah, and then we need you to join Patreon. That would be you're thankful for this program. That's what it is. Yesterday, you realized you were sitting around. They said, "What are you thankful for at the Thanksgiving table?" And you go, "You know, I'm thankful for that optimistic, enthusiastic, fun, weird guy that laughs after every sentence, Randy. And I'm thankful for that show. And so I'm going to send him $3 a month." No, that wasn't. You didn't do that? Oh, well, you know. Dream. I'm a dreamer too. All right. And or buy some Cybertruck bottle openers, $25 for one, $45 for two, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody who bought, I mean, really, I got all kinds of emails. I got all kinds of texts from people last year, DMs telling me how much they liked. In fact, I just got one yesterday from a guy who bought 5 from New Zealand, and he was saying, "These are great. These are fantastic." Very, very appreciative of how, I mean, these are solid. They look good. The boxes are fantastic. Anyway, get your Cybertruck. Do it now while you're thinking about it. Down, take care of it. All right. That's all. Oh, let's see. What about yesterday? Was there anything yesterday that it did that was good? Well, there was the Bradford Ferguson, and I had a great conversation that I published last night. So I'll put that card up there if you want to go back and check that out from last night. Okay, that's it. I got nothing. It's been great. Oh, you want me to look? Oh, for those of you who just hung around, I'm just gonna look one more time at, you know, like I normally do at Tesla. It is still up $8.58. Maybe it'll stay up. We'll see what happens this time. It's been great talking to you.